Welcome to the following presentation of the Adrenaline Sim Racing Association. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have arrived here in Seattle, Washington for race number 6 of Season 1 of the ASRA NBC Cup Series. We're here for the Adidas Space Needle 500 at the Armory Digital Superspeedway to cap off the first half of the regular season. I'm Jack Mitchell alongside Connor Hudson and Kevin Campbell in the booth. Guys, already we're quickly moving through the season now, 5 races down, 1 race left to go before the All-Star break at Charlotte. So what are the vibes going into this one?
Awesome. I mean, we're halfway through the regular season. Once we complete this race, just a third of the way through the NBC Cup Series season, which means it's coming down to the wire. Every race matters, and these points are, every time we go anywhere, these points get a massive shakeup, and we're running at a track where we can run 5 wide, and so I think we're in for an awesome show and an incredible points shakeup after this. What about you, Connor?
Yeah, I think that this is the part of the season where the cream starts to rise to the top and you begin to see who are going to be the front runners, who are going to be your contenders. But as we saw last week, sometimes the contenders mix it up with the guys at the very bottom of the board, and I don't see that changing here today. This is one of the more fun tracks and one of the more random tracks on the schedule, and I know you're excited for it. I am too.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I love Armory Digital. We're going to see a lot of 4-wide racing, really tight pack racing, some pit strategy as well, too. These guys only made it during testing about 11 laps before they had to come in for pit stops, so it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. But let's go ahead and take a look at our point standings. In case you missed last week, we had a change for the points lead. Wes Hayes is now the points leader with 128. He's 5 clear of Jack Mitchell in second place. Then you've got Thomas Johnson followed by Chase Parent, Blake Garcia, Wyatt Dooling, Eric Braxton, Alexander Schumacher, Blaze McKinney, and Bryce Mann to round out the top 10. So some good performance out of that Adrenaline Motorsports. They've got all 3 cars inside the top 10 so far. Then you've got Anthony Foss, followed by Connor Hudson, Andrew Anderson, Felipe Henriquez, Cole Wilton, PJ Payne, Hannes Naraga, Henry Tabor, David Smith, and Ryan New. And rounding out the field, it's Landon Mills, Jay Mack, Roberto Crown Jr., Nick Michelini, Connor DaCosta, last race's winner Brody Kepsky, followed by his brother Reese, and then Ben Fior, Kevin Campbell, and Shazane Rana. Only driver to finish a lap down at Homestead, and he brings up the rear in the point standings. So it'll be very interesting, though, because like you said last week, Kev, they're going to throw the points in a blender here at this race. It's going to be really fun.
It is. I can't wait.
Alrighty.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go trackside. Let's get the command. Let's fire these engines up.
Drivers, start your engine!
Engines have been fired. The cars are rolling off pit road here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. Let's go ahead and take a look at our full starting grid. Your Altitude Graphics Pole Award winner is Chase Parent, and the 49 of Connor Hudson joins into the outside of row 1.
Row 2, we've got Eric Braxton in the 82 car and the 87 Chevy of Blaze McKinney.
Row number 3, we got the 31 Sauced Up Machine. That's Andrew Anderson. And to his outside, the number 8 of PJ Payne.
Next up, it's Nicholas Michelini in the 52, and Bryce Mann, the Daytona 500 winner in the 99.
Row 5, we've got the 24 of Jay Mack and the 45 of Anthony Foss.
Row number 6, it's 9-11. We got the number 9 of Hannes Noriger. And then to his outside, the number 11, our points leader, Wes Hayes.
Next up, it's Wyatt Dooling in the 29 and Henry Tabor in the 43.
And then in row number 8, we've got the 51 of Thomas Johnson. He's won earlier this season, as well as Landon Mills in the 23 car.
Row number 9, we got some front runners from last week. We got the 15 of David Smith and the number 3 of Connor DaCosta.
And then we got Kevin Campbell in the 93 and Ben Fior in the 57.
Then behind them, we've got the number 20 of Brody Kupski and the 1 of Jack Mitchell.
Down the order a little bit, we got the 68, that's Alexander Schumacher, and then the 07 of Blake Garcia.
Next up, it's Roberto Crown Jr., the 21, and the 40 of Ryan New.
Second to last row of the field consists of the 46, Reese Kupski, and the 04 of Shazane Rana.
And I have no idea who's in the last row. All right, here we go.
Yeah, Felipe Henriquez and Cole Wilton are in the last row. All right, pace car is off on pit road. Chase Parent in the number 27 Ford Mustang Dark Horse is going to lead us to the green flag. Everybody's lined up and ready here at Armory Digital. The stands are packed. And we are green flag racing here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. Chase Parent has the lead as they go down to turn 1.
BJ Payne already pulls out to the right side of Blaze McKinney. We'll have to see if that works out for him.
It won't be too long now before they start fanning out and trying to go 2, 3, 4 wide.
We saw 5 in practice before.
And the track's big enough, you could see some 5, 6, 7, 8 wide racing.
It's
Just
big
the way
enough.
Dale would like it.
It's certainly big enough for that.
I had to include a Twisted Toe reference. Take a look at that Chevy, what is that, a Malibu?
That is a Chevy Impala.
Oh, it's still ugly, but it's coming up toward the front.
Yeah, the Camaro definitely looks better, but that's okay because we got a Mustang out front and those look the best.
I guess we're just arguing over manufacturer looks up here in the booth, but nonetheless, Blaze McKinney already putting some pressure on Chase Parent for the race lead. And already you can see some cars are fanning out 3 wide just behind them. About to be 4 wide.
To see if we get any abnormalities this race. There were some cars that were ridiculously fast in happy hour earlier, and we don't really know what happened. The ASRA officials took a look. We'll get back to you when we know what happened there.
Really tight quarters between the 49 and the 9 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, you can see
Early.
you can see a little bit. This is something that I talked about a little bit pre-race, is that these cars, they like to fight for those middle 2 lanes. They're fighting for the same piece of real estate. So this is normal for them, though. There's going to be some beating, some banging, some roughing it up, but
We'll say, where else can you have just 3? You're just 3 laps in, and already you got cars sprawled out 5 wide all across the racetrack.
Eric Braxton and David Smith are already fighting for some of the positions there. 4 wide right there.
Amazingly, still just a straight line of 2 cars at the front of this pack, almost looking like a flock of birds the way they're making a V.
So far, but they're not really quite pulling away from anybody just yet. And that won't really happen. At least we hope it won't happen at a race like this, so.
Jack Mitchell there on the inside trying to get something going. That was
Inside.
in practice where we saw some people make some pretty staggering runs, even with minimal help. So we'll have to see if that develops.
Wyatt Dooling's going to go to the inside here from 3rd position. He's going to try and have a run at the race leaders. The inside line is sort of the preferred line around this racetrack. You're going to see cars similar to Daytona, in a similar fashion to Daytona. They'll move to the low side. They'll try to get as low as they possibly can. And it'll eventually send them to the race lead. And then from that point on, it's a question of how long can you hold on to it. And right now, Chase Parent doing a pretty good job blocking from the race lead so far. Blocking both lanes behind him.
He's got to decide which lane to go with, top or bottom. He can't do both.
And eventually Wyatt Dooling is going to try and force his way past. Kevin Campbell's up here as well. Kevin Campbell currently 2nd to last in points. That Eagle Motorsports team could use a great run here today at Armory Digital.
They absolutely could, Jack, as well as a number of the guys running up front here. We've got Reese Kupski up towards the front. Blaze McKinney hasn't had the greatest season for points. He's in the back of the standings.
And you know that Jack Mitchell is looking for that points lead again. Lost it last week at Homestead, hoping to bounce back.
Blaze McKinney is actually not having too awful of a season in the points. He's currently 9th. He is, that's very much in a playoff or a chase position, but how long will it last? You know, it's not winning you're in. Consistency is key here, as we can already see. I think that's the 75 of Cole Wilton that's lost the draft. That's not a good sign early on for this one. Kevin Campbell is going to go to the race lead. I think this is our first lead change so far. Talked about him needing a good day.
Brody Kupski, just like last week, making some bold moves, splitting some cars, making some daring passes.
Yeah, we saw 4 wide at Homestead. Brody Kupski made a pass 4 wide to take the race lead. eventually take the race lead away from, I think it was Wes Hayes or Roberto Crown Jr., can't remember 100%.
Roberto Crown, who ironically is now helping Brody Kupski.
There you go.
How can you not be poetic about racing?
The thing on that bottom line to pay attention to about the Kupski twins are now second and third in this race.
And they're right behind each other in the point standings, too, albeit at the back end of the standings. Brody Kupski, and they're actually tied for 50 points each. Currently 26th and 27th in the point standings right now. Alexander Schumacher, by the way, has gone to the race lead. And something we should also keep an eye out, too, during testing, they only made it about 11 laps before pit stops, so we'll have to keep an eye and see.
I was looking behind. There is one car that seems to have fallen out of the draft a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it's just back there.
Yeah, that was Cole Wilton, I think I mentioned. He completely out of the draft.
He's got just enough of it that I think he can hang on. It looks like he's starting to get a slingshot back to the pack. When he catches up to that pack, if he does, he's going to have a massive run and come straight through the pack.
Reese Kepsky has taken the race lead. We're on lap 7 of 48. Cars are running 4 wide just about everywhere. I want to maybe get a look back here and see if we can see some of that 4 wide action. J Mack and Eric Braxton involved in the middle. Let's see the 07, last week's pole sitter, Blake Garcia, made some moves.
And it makes me nervous. You were talking about that V formation earlier. I absolutely think that's what they're doing. The problem with a V is that you don't have a lot of established lines that can lead to some dicey situations.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
can.
but we're starting to form up a little more of a grid here. Felipe Henriquez now taking the point. He will lead that lap.
Felipe Henriquez, another driver in need of a good run. See where he is in the point standings. Felipe is currently 14th in the point standings with 80. So, not in the worst spot, but you would like to be in a playoff spot or chase spot by the end of the season. So
You've got today plus 6 races to crack that top 12. He's got time, especially if he runs like this.
wins are going to be absolutely critical to trying to maintain your consistency in the points. I mean, consistency, if anything, is more important, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to make sure you're in the top 12 by the end of the regular season, so. Blake Garcia probably going to have a run at the race lead here soon. On lap 8 of 48. Still plenty of time left in this one. Oh, we got a crash! I think it was Landon Mills. Landon Mills went around. Can't quite tell who else was involved.
First caution all season.
Not all season, but definitely.
I said one of the first.
Yeah, one of the first for sure. It looks like everybody managed to save it. I don't see too much major damage on anybody, but Landon Mills definitely went around.
75's off the pace, but I mean, he's been off the pace all day.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at the replay and see what we missed.
Not quite sure how the 57 got so far out in front of everybody, but it doesn't really matter. This is the race back to the line, I believe.
Yeah, that's why he's still in it.
Just make sure they get back to the line clean, and then we'll go back and take a look at the replay and see what happened. There you can see all those tire tracks through turn 1, so that's where it happened.
I was about to say that we got to start thinking about green flag pit stops, but I guess we don't have to anymore.
No, we don't. This was right about the start of the pit window.
That's right. So this will be a race off the pit road here for track position.
Well, while these cars get back into formation, let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and play the game of synchronized spinning. They were just about 5 wide. I think they kept it 4 wide. Both Brody Kupski and Landon Mills were involved in that one, but both of them somehow managed to save it. Still not too sure what kind of contact or what kind of chain reaction led to that, but both cars managing to keep it clean.
Yeah, they kind of like bounced off of each other and just straightened each other out against the wall. It was incredible.
You also see both of our front row starters, one of them involved directly, the other having to avoid, and our points leader, Wes Hayes, was also caught up in that.
We're going to go on board with Wes Hayes and see what he saw here.
Looks like Kupski just got forced up.
Yeah, he did. And you can see just ahead of him, too. 2 cars got into the wall just ahead of him, so.
That's
think-
not what Kupski's going to need today.
I believe, yeah, J Mack and Nick Michelini were the 2 cars that got up into the wall or got nearby it. So some interesting action here. Crash on lap 9. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back to Armory Digital.
Think you got what it takes to conquer the Devil's Dozen Wing Challenge? 12 wings smothered in our hottest sauce yet, all in under 8 minutes. But we all know Connor won't try it. Not because of the heat, but because, well,
It's crazy. I mean, who eats wings without sauce? That's ridiculous.
whatever your style, Sliders has you covered.
Welcome back to the Adidas Space Needle 500 here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. A strange sequence of pit stops during that last caution flag, and Connor DaCosta, the race leader, was among them. He was the winner of the race off of pit road, but then he came back down pit road for an unscheduled stop, I believe. So that's going to turn the race lead over to the 40 of Ryan New.
They might have been concerned about a loose lug nut, because if you have one loose lug nut on these cars, you're SOL.
Or maybe just to top off, because if this race goes green for long enough, you're going to be wanting as much fuel as possible.
Absolutely. I think it's the 51 car back there of Thomas Johnson, too, who also came down pit road.
Also, Cole Wilton and Reese Kupski both made pit stops the lap before.
As did Hannes Narager, but he was a little bit slow coming off pit road. I'm not really too sure what happened to that 9 car, but it looks like he's still on the track. You can see a little smidge of blue in the back of the field there, so... Some strange happenings at Armory Digital so far, to say the least, but nevertheless, we roll on. Ryan New, the race leader. Again, in need of a good run. He's currently 20th in the point standings, 58 points back from the points leader, Wes Hayes.
Oh.
And Ryan New looks like he's coming to pit road.
Is he pitting on the green flag? What in the world?
I did mention...
All right, so I guess...
Well, we'll see if anybody else joins them.
I
think
guess PJ Payne's going to
kidding.
lead the field to the green.
I guess these are maybe they are scheduled pit stops, because I mentioned that the pit window was right around lap 11 and we're restarting on lap 13, so
He's the only one.
I just wonder if those are the first batch of cars that made the decision to come down pit road, or if it's anybody else. Either way, we're back green, and now PJ Payne is going to be the race leader. And they fan
Already
out.
to his outside, Crown Jr.
Great move by the 21 car.
Oh my God! What in the world? Is he out of gas?
In the world happened to PJ Payne? He might be out of
He's
gas.
coasting. He's coasting. He's out of gas.
Well, I was about to talk about the variants and strategies, and I gotta say, these last 2 sucked.
Lack thereof.
Oh, somebody else is
I
out of gas.
Who was that?
What is?
Mid-pack.
Oh yeah, that was
Wyatt Golick?
that's Alexander Schumacher, I think, is the one out of gas. And Wyatt
People are
Dueling.
running out of gas.
Multiple
What
cars
in
running out of gas
the
on the
world?
backstretch.
Campbell's out of gas.
Tabor's out of gas.
What is going on?
Oh, watch
here?
out.
Whoa,
Gets
no.
into the 45. And they're going up the track, and there's a big
Whoa,
crash.
huge
Connor Hudson
wreck.
involved. So many cars involved in that one. Dave Smith,
That's gonna bring
Reese
caution
Kupski,
out.
Cole Wilton. That will bring us back under yellow flag. Man, you guys just got to come to pit road under those yellows.
What in the heck? Well, I guess the guys that came to pit road timed it right.
Every single strategist on the pit box is getting fired today.
I have
Every
no
crew chief
idea.
is gone.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Ironically, the guy at Homestead last week, the only guy who seemed to have trouble on pit road, is the one up front now.
And this, kids, is why Lightning McQueen firing his crew chief was a bad idea.
Well, we're going to untangle this madness. But in the meantime, let's go back and take a look and see what happened there. Absolute chaos unfolding here at Armory Digital, as Henry Tabor was the race leader, but he ends up running out of gas on the backstretch. A lot of these guys just not coming to pit road at the right time. You can see he was starting to kind of pull away out in front of the rest of the field, but then he runs out of gas kind of into this turn here. And when there's all kinds of cars on the bottom of the track, when you're out of gas, that's a bad sign. And right there, he makes contact. He's trying to make his way to pit road, but can't get by the 45. He gets turned up in the Connor Hudson, and then it sets off a chain reaction. You see all those cars going around in turn 4.
Foss had an incredibly hard hit. He caught air in a couple of spots.
Oh, yeah, he does catch air there, and then he gets into the 49, and then the 15, the 46, the 75. They're all just passengers at that point.
He made contact with like 6 different cars. What a tough break.
Crazy stuff here.
I'm guessing these digital dashes do not have a fuel pressure gauge, because my goodness.
I guess not. I guess the crew chiefs don't have calculators either.
Well, we're still under caution, and we were going to take another commercial break. We'll be right back here at Armory Digital.
The coconuts are migrating.
Not a real man unless you get up at 4 in the morning, 1 and 2 in the morning, go to work and work 70,000 hours.
I want you guys to think with your underdeveloped frontal lobe for a second.
War Thunder players do not have the object permanence of a shrimp.
The Flag Time Podcast, the automotive service podcast where we talk a lot about not that. Audio episodes out on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Music. Video episodes exclusively on Patreon.
Back here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway, another incident happening under caution. You see the 04 of Shazay Rana. He was the race leader going on the pit road, but something wrong with the 8 of PJ Payne, and he slams into the back of that car. And Eric Braxton as well took some damage in that. At least we believe he did. You'll see what's wrong with the 04 in just a second. Also, another incident on pit road, with this one involving Eric Braxton and Connor Hudson. Connor Hudson trying to get into his pit stall, and he can't fit. 2 cars trying to squeeze into the same pit stall, and there's just damage and damage and damage until one of them eventually ends up back in the other pit stop, so that's going to hurt both cars. Just never-ending chaos in this race. Let's go back live. So we're back live now, and Roberto Crown Jr. is going to be the race leader. PJ Payne is going to be on his inside a lap down, and just all kinds of chaos. I think the racing gods are definitely... They're giving us karma because we've had a whole bunch of incident-free races as of late, so this is the racing gods giving us some karma. They're catching back up to us here, but we're back green. Roberto Crown Jr. is going to be the race leader. We've got to keep in mind that the 8 car of PJ Payne is a lap down. He's going to try and stay at the end of the tail end of the lead lap if he possibly can, but for now, Roberto Crown Jr. is going to jump out to the race lead. Wyatt Dueling on the inside is going to use the 8 car to sort of push himself towards the race lead, and you can see Wes Hayes, the points leader, already diving low.
Take a look at our pole sitter, Chase Parent, on the inside.
Chase Parent has worked his way back up in front.
Parent's had
07.
a solid run today in the Flaming Canes car.
The 04 of Shazay Rana is still running on the track. Let's be clear. They did have to rip the front bumper off of that car, and the hood as well, but he's still running. He's still up to speed, so you never know.
Could be more aerodynamic.
Did Eric Braxton ever leave pit road? Or did he DNF?
They are both currently being marked 2 laps down. I don't see the 49 or the... Or, not the 49, the...
I have a feeling he's out of this race.
Let me see if I can find him. I don't even see him. He's out of the race. What about the 49?
Oh, yeah. He's out.
49 is still on the racetrack. Still on the lead lap, too, I believe.
And his arrow looks all right.
This back part of the field, though, is definitely losing touch with the rest of it, so we'll keep an eye and see what happens. Back up to the front, though.
This has been a crazy, chaotic race. We're not even halfway through it.
Those cars at the back, worth mentioning, were all mostly a part of that wreck coming out of 4.
Wes Hayes is going to have a shot at the race lead here. Keep an eye on this 57 car of Ben Fior. He's going to go to the inside. Ben Fior has the fastest lap by at least 3 seconds here, but doesn't look like he quite has the speed just yet. And with all these cautions, I don't really know if he's going to be able to pull away like he wants to with the speed in that car. As you can see, some paint trading going on between the 68 of Alexander Schumacher and the 21 of Roberto Crown Jr. Got a little bit dicey.
Sitting on his quarter panel.
Chase Parent's got speed in that 27. Here comes Blaze McKinney to the inside as well. Blaze McKinney currently 9th in the point standings. Again, I mentioned the Adrenaline Motorsports cars. They seem like the team to beat so far this season. We are 5 wide. That is not going to work.
Oh, this is going to be rough right here.
Oh, it looks like they managed to sort it out. Yeah, looks like they did manage to settle things out. But I was mentioning the Adrenaline Motorsports cars. All 3 of cars on that team are currently inside the top 10 in the point standings right now. As J-Mac is going to have a look at the race lead.
Something interesting worth noting, these cars are all running in 3rd gear.
Well,
Huh.
I think we found why the 57 was going so much faster. He simply shifted up.
I guess so.
Turns out shifting up can help your car go faster, folks.
All right, so the strategists and drivers are all being fired after today.
Everyone's fired. You're all fired. Cleaning house.
What a strange race. I think we were overdue for something as chaotic, but probably not as chaotic as this race has been. Here's a look at Brody Kupski. Last race's winner at Homestead. Brody currently sitting at 26th in the points, but he was last in the points before Homestead, so he definitely needed a shot in the arm, and that win at Homestead definitely gave him one. Thomas Johnson is going to go to the race lead for the time being. He is having a great run as well. He's currently 3rd in the points. Already has a win this season at Circuit of the Americas.
And he had a chance to win last week. Things did not quite fall his way.
Again, we mentioned
pass for the lead here. Felipe Henriquez to the inside of Thomas Johnson. And Kevin Campbell goes to his inside with Brody Kupski in tow.
third one needed for that Eagle Motorsports team. Finally getting their first win of the season with Brody Kupski going to victory lane. And Brody Kupski's pushing his teammate to the lead right here at Armory Digital.
Teammate and
Are we
boss
5
man
wide
there.
again? Yes, we are. Keep an eye on that.
Another Eagle Motorsports car. David Smith is involved in that. Now it's 4 wide, and we're still good.
All kinds of contact. But they managed to hold on to it for the time being.
Connor DaCosta has taken off.
Here we go again.
He shifted into 4th. Wait, actually go up.
Let's look at the 3 car.
Yep, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he shifted up. Everybody else is in third gear.
What is going on?
Guys, just shift up. Shift into 4th.
Everybody else is in third. DaCosta's in 4th, and he pulls away for the race lead.
Dude, what the hell?
I don't know. I
don't know either.
I just work here. We got the 3 Eagle Motorsports cars working together right now. Oh my god.
Now, this
It's a
won't
race
last.
for second.
They are going to need to come to pit road again, so this isn't going to last the whole race.
True.
It's a race
We'll
for
have to
second.
shift down.
And he's going to burn more fuel going faster.
Oh, I think the 57 of Ben Fiore got in the wall. And yeah, you're right, Kevin. By accelerating that much and getting that far out in front, he's just going to burn so much fuel on that car as he tries to pull a Stuart Haas and pull away from everybody on a draft track.
Wait, the 45 car making a run back up toward the front.
Yeah, he is.
Where did he come from? Anthony Foss.
Anthony
Kevin,
Foss was
perfect energy there.
sort of at the epicenter of that wreck.
His crew might not know how to not run him out of fuel, but they sure know how to fix a car.
And they do. Up to
Yeah,
third.
I mean,
Well, he's going to lose out on that battle as here comes Chase Parent to the inside. Connor DaCosta has opened up a 7-second lead. We are almost 5 wide again.
Take a look, saying the 43 car coming up back toward the front. Roller coaster race for that team.
Absolutely. Contact in the middle 2 lanes there. Kevin Campbell, J-Mac. J-Mac's been in a few of these battles in the middle 2 lanes. Contact there again. Do they go 4 wide? The 23. Is the 23 going to pit road?
Somebody's pitting here.
Oh, yeah. Pit stops are well underway. Alexander Schumacher. And there goes Connor DaCosta down pit road.
Yep.
Let's see if that strategy ends up working out for him. I don't think it will. He got so far out in front, he's going to have absolutely no help.
True, but when you're able to shift up, you don't really need it.
Absolutely.
You do have a point.
Let's see who else is on pit road. Landon Mills is there. Alexander Schumacher's there.
Rolling slowly.
These are all the drivers that we noticed were starting to sort of run out of gas during the first restart.
Maybe they learned?
So maybe it was a planned strategy and they just all sort of came to pit road at a weird time because the caution was out. But now we can say that this is for the race lead. Wyatt Dueling is in front.
You also have to consider that this is an enormous... Oh,
whoa!
More pit stops. Oh, do we have a crash?
Everyone's...
Definitely a wreck somewhere. Maybe not.
I don't see the caution lights on. Nope. No caution.
Something happened to Jack Mitchell there.
Everyone just slammed on the brakes coming to pit road.
Everybody but the one car came to pit road there.
There's a few cars left out front. Wyatt Dueling, I think, is leading the pack right now.
Got Andrew Anderson, Chase Parent, Anthony Foss, Kevin Campbell. David Smith is still out there.
Here come more cars down pit road. Let's make sure the 49 car can actually get in this pit stall the right way.
This 49 car's got a long ways to go. Let's see
He
if
doesn't
can make it this time.
He no longer has someone
made it.
behind him because he kind of eliminated the competition there.
So Andrew Anderson is currently being scored the race leader. There goes Nick Michelini to pit road. There's Cole Wilton. He's also on his way to pit road. And yeah, Andrew Anderson also went down. So I think the 1 or the 3 should cycle around out as the leader here.
Did the 1 pit?
I don't think the one's pitted yet.
The 1 has not come to pit road, I don't think.
There he goes.
There it is.
Oh man, he's going to be in
Now
the back of the pack.
It's all about where Connor DaCosta winds up. He was slow rolling getting out of his pit stall. And also what gear he shifts to. We'll have to see.
All these cars are really slow off of pit road too, but something worth keeping an eye on. Let's go ahead and find our race leader right now, Andrew Anderson. Currently on the backstretch.
He's also in 3rd gear. Let's take a look at Connor DaCosta real quick and see if he's
Oh, there goes Andrew Anderson to pit road. So Andrew Anderson never went down pit road.
Looking at the timing, looks like DaCosta only 2 seconds ahead of what will be 2nd place.
Here's a look at the 3 car.
and he's not in 4th gear. What is this race?
I think everybody's just spread out due to those crazy pit strategies. So if some of these guys are able to form a pack,
or one of them grabs the shifter handle.
this is our first pack, I think, right behind the race leader. Like you said, Connor, it's a big track. It can be a little tricky to keep track of everything going on at once sometimes. But
oh yeah, that's one thing I failed to consider when you look at cars running out of gas. When your thing says it has only 1 lap of gas left, that's all well and good, but that lap is long. You got to make it all the way around this ginormous racetrack.
yeah, when you run out of gas too, like you're in a tight spot. If you go down the front straightaway and you run out of gas, you have to make that whole lap all the way around the track.
If you're out of fuel, you're not making it.
Yep, you're getting a tow.
Here comes Andrew Anderson off pit road.
off pit road.
DaCosta is being scored the leader right now.
We did not intentionally sync up right there.
No, we did not.
I think it's about to get interesting. There's 3 cars stuck on an island, and the rest of these guys starting to form up behind.
Yeah, exactly. And we noticed the 3 car was in 4th gear. These guys were not. So I think the question is, can this pack end up catching up to the 3? Let me find the 31 really quick. Anderson's in the middle of the pack. But then that pack just back there, that was for 2nd. Or no, that's... They got by Andrew Anderson. Okay, so... This is the lead pack. Aside from the 3 car, this is the lead pack. 10 seconds behind the 3.
Yeah, let's see how fast they can close up here.
So this is what we'll keep an eye on for right now. They're starting to form back up together. They're starting to go single file. They're not getting too racy. As I say that, Landon Mills goes to the inside.
As we progress here, remember, we're going to need at least one more pit stop.
At least that's the expectation. I have no idea what else to expect for the rest of this race, though. It's been chaotic, to say the least.
You know what I theorize is that if a car is dragging back far enough and gets a slingshot on the car in front, they'll get high enough revs to where they'll have to shift to fourth gear, and then it's game over for everybody else. So we'll see. These guys are still kind of spaced out. We'll see if anybody strikes gold.
Absolutely. There's another pack back there, too. This is more of a, I guess, formed pack. As you can see, Jack Mitchell and some other guys. Shazane Rana, Blaze McKinney, Thomas Johnson. They're all starting to sort of get racy with each other. And now the same thing is starting to happen with this pack here. And they've closed the gap. It was a 10-second gap between the 68 and the 3 last lap. Now it's down to 9 seconds.
Only about a second. I was honestly expecting more.
PJ Pan, the lap car, might have been holding them up a little bit as well. I think it's just because the 3 car is so far out in front. They've already gained another second on the 3.
That's true. And they're only going about 5 miles an hour faster.
They will catch up to the 3 car. It's just a matter of when. Will it happen when there's laps remaining in this race?
And will it happen before the next set of pit stops?
There you can kind of see, I guess you can't really see past the overlay, but maybe we'll get a camera shot of how far these guys are back in relation to the 3 car. But if they gain another second on this lap, I think they're definitely going to catch him. We'll see what the scoring says this time by. Connor DaCosta could use a win, though. He's currently 25th in the point standings. 53 points total. So he could use a big day like this. If this does play out in his favor, he would obviously take it. Yeah, they've gained 2 seconds now.
Oh yeah, they're closing up.
I think they're going to catch up to him.
Ooh, I'll tell you what, this could be a good opportunity for AJ Payne to get his lap back.
Yeah, Payne, if he's not quite on the same pace as these guys because he's going to get passed by the top line. Yeah, you can see there the 3 car just up ahead. So it's a manhunt at this point.
Oh yeah, if I was the 3, I'd be sweating bullets right now. I'd be shifting to fourth gear.
Exactly. But PJ Payne, though, like you mentioned, he's on the inside. He doesn't have the same race pace as these guys, but he is able to stay in line with them. So if he's able to stick up with this lead pack and stay near the front of it, by the time they catch the race leader, he's got a chance to get his lap back.
So there are 3 things that have to go right for him. He has to stay out front of the 68. He's got to pass the 3. And then after pit stops or during or sometime around then, I would guess that a caution would have to come out and he'd be right back in the hunt. That is a lot of things that would have to go his way.
Absolutely. These guys just entered left turn 2. They're on the backstretch. And let's see where DaCosta is. He's still on the backstretch. It's a long backstretch.
Oh, yeah. Well, as they start to battle more, as they start to go side by side, they're going to lose a little bit of pace. They're not going to close up quite as much.
Yeah, they were doing a good job when they were single file, but now they've kind of gotten a little bit racy again. They're 3 wide. Back to 2x2. That should help.
I'll tell you what, I'm still floored by the fact that the 45 and the 43, that's Anthony Foss and Henry Tabor, I am shocked that they are still up here after that big wreck down on the pit road.
Yeah, they were both at the epicenter of that wreck on pit road, so it's really just a matter. Yeah, they're catching at a second by lap, by the way, but yeah, it's really just a matter of endurance by those 2 teams. They've had good race cars, and the pit crews were able to repair them quick enough to keep them in contention here.
2 drivers of note up here that could really use a good points day, that could really push them into championship conversation. Wyatt Dueling and the number 68 of Alexander Schumacher. Those are 2 drivers who are in the top 10 in points. Of course, everybody could use a good points day, but them especially, they're staring down a good shot at a championship.
Some drivers, too, maybe potentially looking to get into the all-star race, too, this season. Again, not at the forefront of everybody's mind because it's a non-points race, but winning this race or starting on the pole will get you into the All-Star races. Andrew Anderson goes low, trying to get around the 8 car of PJ Payne. PJ Payne is still on pace with these guys, and they have really closed up the gap. They're now down to 3 seconds behind the leader, Connor DaCosta. So I think they're going to catch up to him. It's just a matter of when.
Oh, I think they will catch up. The problem is they're going to run out of time before they have to come to pit road. And then what happens from there? Will it be a clean pit stop, and will we just resume where we're at now, or is somebody going to biff it? Is somebody going to shift to 4th gear? I don't know.
That's even assuming they do come to pit road. We've had some races before this season where it looked like they were about to come to pit road, but they never did. So
I'll tell you what, there's another pack formed up behind them. It seems to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, this is a nice little V formation pack. Thomas Johnson's in front of it. Johnson is in position for a good points day as well. I'm not sure where the 11 of West Hayes is. I was going to say, okay, I thought Reese Kupski was going to pit there for a second. He stays on the racetrack. There's Wes Hayes.
Looks like 57's pitting.
Is he? Yes, he is. And we've had a lead change, so I think DaCosta pitted as well.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we should expect these guys to come down pit road this time. Try and get the jump on that 3 car and finally try and run them down, although they're not going to be able to get down very efficiently if they stay 3 wide like this.
Yeah, you can't be running 3 wide like this. Cars trying to pit from the top lane while in a 3 or 4 wide situation is what led to those incidents earlier, so.
It's going to be like Alexander Schumacher also came down that last lap.
There goes Wyatt dueling the pit road. Anybody else in this lead pack? No.
We'll see if that hurts them at all. I don't know that it will. It depends on how efficiently you get down.
There's Connor DaCosta off of pit road. Landon Mills is the next car off pit road.
Oh yeah, these 2 guys. They were part of that pack trying to chase down DaCosta.
Henry Tabor being scored the race leader right now. So yeah, this pack right now is effectively for the race lead.
Now they're coming back out. I do like the strategy of waiting a little bit because we still got 10 more, well, I guess 9.5 more laps of this race, which those are some long, long laps. You've got to wonder if everybody's going to make it.
There goes Henry Tabor to pit road. That's Anthony Foss right behind him. Followed by Kevin Campbell. There's a whole bunch of takers on pit road. Dave Smith looked like he had a bit of a rough time getting on there, but it looks like he's all right. There's DaCosta.
That might be the pack of cars to watch back there, right around Jack Mitchell. Those guys might be, based on how close they pitted together. Oh, you saw the 68 formed up, trying to chase down the 3 of Connor DaCosta. That could also be an important battle.
It could be. Andrew Anderson was being scored the race leader. I think he just went to pit road, though. Oh, he's off of pit road. Yeah, this is the battle for the race lead right here.
I think DaCosta is going to cycle around. We'll see. Or maybe? Oh, wait, yeah, no.
Chase Parent going to go in front, but I think these 2 are going to come to pit. Yeah, Andrew Anderson is slow into this corner. He's coming down pit road.
I don't know what the 27 did. Oh,
yeah, the 27 did too.
All right. See if they waited too long. Because you want to have enough fuel to make it, but if you wait too long, these guys start making some runs on you, get some good laps together, and these guys are also going to be formed up nicely.
So we are of the belief right now that Connor DaCosta is going to be scored the leader.
Yep, but he is the fox, and look behind him, those are the hounds. They're coming after him.
And we'll take note, he is in 3rd gear, so let's see if this is the battle here that shakes out. We'll drive by the start-finish line this time, and we'll get in our scoring loop. Chase Parent is still being scored the leader.
Oh, wait, because they're coming off pit road now.
Yeah.
So the 3 car is effectively the leader.
For the time being, yeah, he's going to fly right by there.
Yep.
So, yes.
So
this
is the battle right there.
You've got the 3 car, the 49 car is a lap car, and then... trying to see if there's anybody right behind DaCosta. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's
Whole
nothing
pack of cars.
First. they're going to be coming here soon. Oh, this should be fun. They're going to have just enough time to get near him, and he might have enough time to latch onto the draft and make another run at it. Either way, they're going to catch him.
Yeah, they are. You see that within this shot, I think they were, when they were during that last cycle too, right before DaCosta went down pit road, they were gaining a second a lap.
Yep.
So I think that whole pit stop cycle might have just been DaCosta delaying the inevitable, as they're only now being scored a second back of the race leader. Henry Tabor leading this pack.
Henry Tabor, who was caught up in one of the big accidents in this race, still somehow finding a way.
Don't get too racy here.
I'll tell you what, that 8 car has the possibility of just screwing everything up. Still a lap car, and still right up there with the leaders.
Still no word yet on what happened to the 82 of Eric Braxton.
I think Braxton's car just got destroyed on pit road.
The one that Connor Hudson disintegrated.
Yeah, by Connor Hudson.
We're just waiting on the official diagnosis on what happened with that car.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the official report says at the end of the race.
Here we go. The Hounds have caught the Fox. Connor DaCosta is going to be under fire from Alexander Schumacher. This is going to be your battle for the race win. Only about 5 laps to go, I think. And yeah, there goes Schumacher. Connor DaCosta has absolutely no chance. He already goes to the high side. Remember, the 8 car is still a lap traffic car. So he's going to get in some people's way just a little bit. Yeah, the 45 of Anthony Foss getting caught up behind the 8 of PJ Payne. Here's Kevin Campbell up here, too. Haven't talked about
This would be
him a whole lot.
absolutely massive for the 93 car. The rest of these guys are towards the front of the field in the point standings. Campbell is second to last. He absolutely needs this run in the Selly Productions Ford Mustang.
So yeah, this is Selly Productions.
Strong enough for
You
long
had me
enough.
there for a second.
Anyway, Alexander Schumacher going to be the race leader. This is essentially what we've been waiting for. These cars have finally caught up to Connor DaCosta, and now you can see he's falling back just a little bit, but there's a chance. There's always a chance. If he stays latched onto this pack, he's got the chance to fight his way back up to the front. Kevin Campbell working his way up to Alexander Schumacher.
Still a lot of racing left. I don't know if I like the 68 being out front because he pitted earlier in the cycle. You got to wonder if he can make it all the way.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Campbell was one of the last ones to come to pit road, so if they start running out of gas and he's able to keep his nose clean, he might be able to stretch it all the way.
Caution is out. Caution is out. I'm not sure what happened, but that's going to derail this whole thing.
Oh.
And I think, assuming he holds on to the lead, Alexander Schumacher, I'm almost positive that is going to be the end of the race.
Oh, man.
And forget everything we just talked about. Throw it out the window. Either we're going to have a green-white checkered or that's it.
And the front is off the 29 of Wyatt Dueling.
Probably just be a white checkered.
I'm not sure what happened. I'm not even sure who was involved. We're going to have to go back and take a look. But you see Wes Hayes making his way off of pit road.
Let's find out what happened. Let's go take a look.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the impossible has happened. We went to look through the footage and we had a phantom caution. We could not find a single reason why the caution would have possibly come out here, but that's how it's going to end. And you notice that, I think it was the 45 of Anthony Foss. He was up here. He ran out of gas during this last pit stop, or during this last pace lap segment, so he just ran out of time. And assuming
we'll have to see if the 68 assuming run out of gas.
We're not going to call the race just yet because these cars obviously still have to make it back to the checkered flag. But man, what a really strange ending to this one. It's been a strange race all day. A phantom caution ends this thing, and I mean, I really don't know what to say. Armory Digital usually delivers exciting races, and it looked like we were set up for an exciting finish, but I think we're left with a few more questions than answers after this thing.
Absolutely. From the varying pit strategies, none of which seem to work out, to the drivers who simply put their hand on the shifter and found another gear, and now this phantom caution coming out of nowhere. ruining what could have been a great battle to the line. I think it's been exciting, just in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, it's been interesting, that's for sure. We'll have to see what happens here. Is the 68 going to actually stay on track?
I
to come
believe
down the
he
front straightaway?
is.
Yes, he is, and that's going to mean that Alexander Schumacher is going to get his first win.
Absolutely. Alexander Schumacher going to come to the checkered flag under caution. And the 68 going to get his first win on the year. And that Little Caesars Ford Dark Horse Mustang.
And how about that for Kevin Campbell? Second to last in the points. He's going to finish second today.
Big
That's
boost
going to
for
be
both of them.
huge.
Big
for that
boost
93.
for both of these cars, as there's the cars driving across the line to make this thing official. Alexander Schumacher, your winner in the Adidas Space Needle 500 at Armory Digital. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fastest lap, and that was, to almost nobody's surprise, the 3 of Connor DaCosta. Like you said, Connor, it's miraculous what can happen when you go into 4th gear.
Well, did you also see the 57 at the second fastest lap? It seems like they found another gear too. Problem was they did it way too late.
Yeah, it was a very interesting race. Not entirely sure what all happened today, but regardless, looking forward to the All-Star break, the All-Star Open leading into the All-Star race, which is set by, of course, pole sitters and race winners, plus the top 2 from the Open, as well as the highest driver in points who didn't already lock in.
I will say, I was thinking about it. You know who's got to be beside himself is Connor DaCosta. A great day, a good 5th place finish, but if that caution had come out any time in that span that he was out front, which was a good probably 10-20 laps, he would have had it made.
Yep. Would have taken us home free.
Just a really strange scenario there, and I think somebody else who's probably bummed out a little bit too is the 8 of PJ Payne, because he had the pace to run up here with these leaders. I thought maybe he wouldn't. I thought maybe he was a little bit slower, but no, he was running up here with the leaders perfectly up to speed and everything. So really just unfortunate that he ended up a lap down. He probably could have been in contention for this win too. Alexander Schumacher, he's gonna probably get a big boost in the points from the result of this win. He is currently 8th in the point standings right now, but Kevin Campbell definitely the driver much more in need of that as well, because he was second to last in the point standings, only 45 points for the 93 team. I have no idea who is going to be the points leader. Looks like Jack Mitchell finished 5 laps ahead of Wes Hayes, but Thomas Johnson was up in that battle as well. He gets a top 10.
I think Thomas Johnson might, if not get the points lead, he'll at least come close to it. I think Kevin Campbell just ran out of gas.
I think the entire field is confused.
I am too.
That sounds accurate to just about everything that
is-
happened in this race,
What
but
are they doing?
You know what?
it's on brand. It's on brand for this race. Let's go ahead and take a look at our finishing results. Taking a look at our full finishing results from Armory Digital. Alexander Schumacher, the race winner. Kevin Campbell second, followed by Landon Mills, Andrew Anderson, Connor DaCosta, Henry Tabor, Chase Parent, Blaze McKinney, Roberto Crown Jr., and Thomas Johnson to round out the top 10. Following that, it's Nick Michelini, Reese Kupski, Jay Mack, Blake Garcia, David Smith, Cole Wilton, Jack Mitchell, Brody Kupski, and Shazane Rana, and Ben Fiore. And then the last 10 cars on the track, or the last 10 cars to finish the race: Hannes Narager, Ryan New, Felipe Henriquez, Bryce Mann, Connor Hudson, PJ Payne, and Wyatt dueling each a lap down. A camshaft issue was a diagnosis for Anthony Foss. And then Wes Hayes, followed by Eric Braxton to finish this thing off.
So unfortunate for the 45. It turns out he did not run out of fuel. It was a camshaft problem. It looked like they had that car ready to rip after that wreck, but couldn't get it done.
Yeah, tough break.
Blew his motor.
Haven't had a whole lot of mechanical failures this season, so that's definitely going to sting for a little bit. We'll go ahead and take a look at our point standings. All right, here's a look at the updated point standings. Thomas Johnson is your new points leader. Jack Mitchell still in second, only 3 points back. We have a lot of tight points battles going into the All-Star break. I think you said, Kevin, we have like 14, something like that, drivers tied.
We have 6 ties for 12 drivers of the 30 car field. which is nuts.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. The first tie, the highest one of the points, Wes Hayes and Chase Parent tied for 130 each. And you got Alexander Schumacher, Blake Garcia, Blaze McKinney, Andrew Anderson, Wyatt Dooling, and Henry Tabor to round out the top 10. But Henry Tabor, he's tied for Bryce Mann. They've got 100 points each. Bryce Mann in 11th. Another tie after Eric Braxton with Landon Mills and Anthony Foss, but they both have 95 points. Another tie, Connor Hudson and Cole Wilton tied for 91. Another tie, David Smith and Felipe Henriquez tied for 89. Roberto Crown Jr. has 86. And then Hannes Narager has 84 in 20th. And then the last 10 in the point standings, we have yet another tie. J Mack and Nick Nicolini each have 83. 82 points for Connor Acosta, 80 points apiece. I think this is our last tie here. PJ Payne and Ryan New both with 80 apiece. And then finally Kevin Campbell, Reese Kupski, Brody Kupski, Ben Fuhr, and Shazane Rana. So parity, man. A lot of tight points battles. There is no win and you're in. You're going to have to stay consistent as the season goes along, and as these races keep ticking by, as everything keeps going along. It's a fun thing to watch here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. I mean, Campbell finished second place, gained 30 points, and still only went up a couple of spots in the standings because of how tight everything is right now.
And you think about Thomas Johnson, who's quietly been consistent, quietly been picking them off at the front, now holds the points lead because that's what it takes. If you just continue that throughout more of the season, I think he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, Johnson's running exactly how you should be running. He's got the consistency, and he has a race win, too, so that's really going to help him out here. But it's only a 3-point gap to him and Jack Mitchell, so anything can change. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that is going to wrap us up from an eventful week here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. The next two races are going to be the All-Star break, so we'll take a bit of a break from the points battles. We'll have a little bit of fun at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Everyone who's sat on the pole or won a race this season is going to be in the All-Star race. We'll have the Open as well right before it then as well. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up here shortly for the ASRA NBC Cup Series. But any final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, what a race. That was, wow. I don't even have words. That was crazy. That was genuinely nuts.
I should hope that the racing gods, whatever vengeance or fury they have scorn on us, I hope that's the last of it, because I think they got their fill today. They sure made for an eventful day. I'm going to go ahead and assume that the next race will be a little more nuanced, a little more fluid than that one. But nonetheless, we appreciate you guys tuning in.
Absolutely. Thank you guys very much for watching this one. If you guys like this one, give it a like, subscribe to the channel to see more ASRA NBC Cup Series races. You can also follow us on social media at ASRA Sim Racing, and you can join our Discord to stay as up to date as possible. You'll find the link to that in our description. Again,
and
next
also
week,
make sure y'all sub to Connor's YouTube channel. He pumps out amazing content on a regular basis. Wanted to shout him out real quick before we end off the video, Jack.
Yeah, good call there. Subscribe to LA Productions 49. Our next break, as I mentioned, it'll be the All-Star race, the NBC Sports Open, followed by the All-Star race. So we hope you'll join us then. But that is going to do it. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching this presentation of the Adrenaline Sim Racing Association.